Hi, I'm Askalan. So I would like to explain how a simple thought led me to create a beautiful solution for a problem which has been faced by a lot of users. So while scrolling through Instagram or using different social medias, I use it to see a lot of advertisements regarding matrimony or those kind of applications and sites. And then I started to think about like actually, if you are looking in a bigger picture, both these dating apps and matrimony applications, both are actually working in the same kind of area or both are focusing on same kind of target audience. Then I started to think why these dating apps are not spreading that much of advertisements, whereas matrimonies are spending way more amount and their time into advertisements. And I started a case study along this thing. So later I found out that actually even though both the people are targeting for the same kind of target audience, but whereas currently in this current scenario, actually matrimonials are has been widely used by their parents, and actually the parents are looking for perfect matches for the children. So to reach out to their parents who are being slightly older or elder, so it's really hard to attract them in a more easiest or fashionable way. So that's why these matrimonial applications have to spend a lot of time and money in the marketing side. So if we can change the shift or we can change the target audience from the older people to the younger people, we can easily grab a lot of attention from the youth, and it will be way more efficient and effective for the application. And then I started to think why these youth, even though like they are the people who are going to marry, but still they are not using the matrimony application or they are not interested in using this application. So then I actually started to go through which are some of the most popular existing applications, and then I try to understand that actually this youth is not getting into these modern matrimony applications because they all of the existing matrimony applications are lacking the modern user interfaces and the user-centric designs. So they are like bit clunky and they are not so much user experience providing. So then I started to see a good opportunity over there. So I started to create an idea of where I can blend this beautiful user interfaces and user experience which I getting from the dating app, and I can convert that into a matrimony application. So that will be a mind-blowing solution for the youth, and whereas or for the company side also they don't have to spend that much of money and time in the marketing. So this is how I got into the idea of creating a new matrimony application where I can bridge the gap of this two different kinds of target audience. And this led me to find out a better framework which will help me to achieve this in small amount of time. I need to provide my application into different kinds of platforms where it will be easy for the people to use. Also, I need to make that it provides or it satisfies the primary condition of my objective or my solution, that it should be a user-centered design and should be have to provide user experience. So without a thought, like I came up with a solution which is Flutter, and along with Flutter, I wanted to make sure that the application is ready to scale as much as long as it gets bigger, and it need to be adaptable to more different kinds of platforms. So I know Flutter is a better choice because from a single code base we can develop different kinds of platforms, applications from Flutter, and along with that, when you are checking the competitors of Flutter like React Native and all, Flutter has a added advantage, which means like even though it's creating applications for different platforms from a single code base, but also still Flutter uses its own Flutter engine to create natively compiled applications. So that will be way more efficient and optimized than its competitors. So that's why I choose Flutter. And to make it more scalable and more upgradable in the future, I stick with plain architecture so that all the concerns and things will be separated. So in the future, if I wanted, then I can swap the backend with something bigger and bigger. So I stick with plain architecture, and I wanted to have the finest control over each actions and each interaction from the user. So for that, I choose block as my state management. So they will get more control over my user interaction and my user application. And when uh, looking about the backend, so initially I have been created this application with Firebase as my backend, since it is so easy to integrate, and it also comes with the so many important features where we can like get the output of the application, or we can like release the application too fastly. So that's why I stick with Firebase. And since I was also using plain architecture, it's so easy for me to uh, change that into something bigger and more precise kind of backend. So that's why I stick with Firebase, and along that for the uh, integration parts and all, I have been using some different APIs along with the Firebase's Google authentication and different authentication platform features. And when speaking about the main features of my application is mainly focused on helping the users find their better match from the preference that they have been given. So whenever the user has been logged into my application, I also make sure that the user is not getting a lot of uh, useless or unwanted matches. So that's what's happening in the existing Matrimony application. So I wanted to create a personalized experience for them. So I have created custom algorithms which will help them to find the better match for themselves. And when they are logging, actually they have to provide the preferences that they are looking for in their partner, and after that the rest of the things will be handled by the application. So this is primary and core feature for my application. And the second thing when coming to the dating and matrimony application is the privacy of concern. So I have solved that concern with adding different privacy factors and private privacy steps, where if the user is not willing to reveal all their profile photos and identities to an open user, then they have the opportunity to secure that. And once if they get a request from the user and they have willing to accept the request, or if they are interested in the other user, then only they have to reveal their identity or their complete personal data. So I have integrated this also. This is a primary feature. And when moving to the other feature, if a user has been attached or they have been connected, then they can easily chat and interact with my application, where I provide a beautiful chatting interface and chatting experience for my user. And it also helps the users to save their search results, so that if the user is setting a set of preference for their partner, and once they found out a set of users from that preference, so if they want to save that list of users in their private folder or in their personalized area, then they have got the opportunity to save that. And so that if they want to try with the different preferences, it will be easy for them to try with different preferences. And when doing this application, one of the primary challenge that I faced was, actually, I have to collect all the preference and different user personalized details into my application. Then only I can help them to find out their better match. So the main challenge is that actually there is a lot of forms to fill for the users when they are entering the application. So this makes a bit hard for me. Like if we look, then we can understand all the modern applications, or all of the applications are reducing this number of forms to be filled when to getting into the application or in the sign up area. So that like we can see this goal authentication and all those kind of parts. So it will help the users to get into the application, and it will be very easy for them to minimize the sign up criteria. So, but as a matrimony application, it's not that simple for me, because like even though if there is a Google authentication, but still they have to provide all their personal details and personal information, all this preference, everything should be collected from the user. So if I am giving a lot of forms in the entry stage or in the initial level of my application, I know that the youth won't be interested to get into the application. So to overcome that challenge, I come with a new idea that to get into my application is so easy that they won't be have to fill a lot of forms. With the simple methods, they can sign up to the application. And once they have been signed up, then they will get a notifications in the app bar, so that will notify them to fill up the rest of the forms and the other preferences without making them feel like they are filling a lot of forms. So I have created different animated and different personalized way of adding information, so they can add different set of informations time to time whenever they are looking serious for their match. So they don't have to do it all at once. So that also made a better user experience for my users. And the second challenge is that I have to create a custom algorithm which helps them to get a better match. So that was also a challenging task for me at the initial stage, but after understanding how the users will think or how their thought process will come along, by observing that, actually I get an idea to create algorithm. So after a week, I have been successfully come up with the idea of the algorithm. So when talking about the future of my application, actually I was planning to create a parental version of this application, which so that if the parents are required to monitor, then they can also have a monitor thing. And the other thing that I was trying to plan in the future is that currently now this is a application which a base code. So if we are looking into different matrimonies, we can see that like they all have different variants of like different categories. For like example, Muslim matrimony, Hindu matrimony, Christian matrimony. So this application can be scaled up to different models like in such a way, or Else we can scale up this into like religion, like location based, some like Kerala Matrimony, different kinds of locations based also. You can scale up this base code into a wide variety of areas. So for that, I have also added all these codes in a centralized manner. So it's easy to change this building block of the application to any other category or any other area which we require. So I had taken that one step already forward when I was developing this basic build code. So this is one of the major future upgrade that I was planning to do. And another thing is that I also planning to do some AI related features where this AI will help them to analyze and observe the better matches for them. Also, that will help them to create a better profile for them. So these are some of the features that I'm planning to integrate in the near future. So I believe that this is going to make a huge impact in the users, and also it is going to help the company a lot more saving in the side of marketing and in the investing in different marketing campaigns. Thank you.